Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this was our project was Pong, the arcade game, and we reinvented it. How do you play Pong? Well, Pong simulates table tennis, or another way to say it would be ping pong. The player controls an in-game paddle by moving it vertically across the left or right side of the screen.
Players can compete against each other by controlling a second paddle on the opposing side. Players use the paddles to hit a ball back and forth. The score is shown at the top of the screen.
For this game, you can play multiplayer or single player. We designed a single player game where the single player will play against the computer. The computer is designed to go to where the ball will be, but there are occasional instances where you can glitch the game and score a point.
As shown on our next screen, we actually managed to score 1 point against the computer. It's harder than it looks.
So this was our process. First, we had to write the base code of the game, namely what makes the ball bounce back and forth, what allows you to control your paddle, and what makes the computer go to the ball.
Secondly, we had to add our own twists to the game using what we learned in class. So we tackled colors first and added a prompt to alter the controls, ball, and background.
We have a list of common eye-pleasing colors on the prompt itself that'll work when you enter them into the prompt. However, you could virtually choose any color that HTML recognizes.
We also changed the fonts of the game and added borders to make the game more visually appealing.
Lastly, we used a previous lesson about how to add stopwatches and clocks. The timer will track the number of minutes you've been playing our game, just in case you get addicted. So here is a full thing of our code. So if you refresh, it will ask you, what theme color would you like your game to be? Please choose from crimson, light salmon, and we have a bunch of colors that we picked out ourselves that would.
Yeah, but technically you could choose any color that HTML would recognize, not just from these, but these are the ones that look good, so.
And this is what it would look like if you were to miss. So it would automatically put the point on the other person's side and start from the net. And anyways, if you don't prefer any of these colors, which I would seriously doubt, but if you didn't, you could put in like green, for example. Or, well, actually, you could put blue, and it would change it to blue. It just has to be any color that it recognizes. And here is our code. Please ignore the 7 to 0, but.
Okay, so for our HTML code, this is where we spawned all the graphics. The first part would be the title and the div for the border. The second part would be displaying the timer. And then the third part would be drawing the canvas that shows the player, the net, and the computer.
So for our CSS, we use some simple border and width, height things here for our div tags for our title and our border for the title, and how to make everything the color that you entered into the prompt.
And then our JavaScript was composed of mainly 3 parts. The first part would be the base of the game, which is the computer, which goes to the same level as the ball will be at. Your paddle, which will follow the movement of your mouse. So if you move your mouse up, it'll go up. If you move your mouse down, it'll also go down. And then it also uses the code for the ball, which means if it goes to a certain point on the screen, then it'll bounce back up and change to velocity X and velocity Y. And so just because we didn't want the game to be too predictable, as in the ball bouncing back and forth in a straight line, we had to alter the angle that the ball bounces at. And then the second part of our JavaScript would be the timer. And here we just wrote a simple timer that counts up as soon as you start the game.
And for our last part, we made the prompt. So the prompt would ask, which theme color would you like? And we added these. And for our, to make everything the same color, we would add our variable prompt into all of our colors.
Yep, and that's our game. If you would like to try it out, we'll be sending a link in the chat box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.